Hey, my friends, it is Friday. Have you been kicking it this week? Have you been building wins all week? I have. It's been a great week. A lot of good stuff going on. I hope you have too. And remember, it's only 3 o'clock on Friday, which means you got a lot of day left. You got some weekend to get a little things in, do some balance, get back at it on Monday. Because remember, champions, they separate on Friday. Remember that. Don't forget. So I've been building wins all week. I know you have. And today we're going to do another building wins with, well, I was going to say a very special guest, and he is. But I've been blessed, Wes and I've been blessed to have some really, really great guests ever since we started this show. And as a matter of fact, we're blessed to have, I think I'm booking into February now with guests. So we've got some great people coming up. But I'm going to throw one quick thing out there about that before we jump on with Eric. And that is, if you have something you think you'd like to bring to the show, you think you've got something to chat about, you want to bring some heat, bring some fire, give me a call, give me a text. Shoot me a messenger on Facebook or LinkedIn. Love to chat about that. And if there's anything also that we haven't covered in close to a year now that we've been doing these shows, between Wes and I and a bunch of other friends of ours, we know a lot of people. We might be able to come up with some answers. So if there's something you want to talk about we haven't touched on, let me know what it is, and we'll see if we can find a guest to drill down onto something interesting and exciting. So that's it for now. In a minute, we're going to have special guests. I'll give him like a VIP treatment or something. My son, my older son, because as you probably remember a few months ago, we had my younger son Corey on, and we taught metal roofing for 40 minutes or so. Today we're going to talk to my older son Eric, and we're going to talk about discipline versus motivation and a lot of things he's did in life that's he can talk pretty good about it. He's done some amazing things, and we're going to bring him on in just a minute. So don't go away. Hey, Bear.
Hey, Bob.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good. What's going on in beautiful Michigan? Is it snowing?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay. Tomorrow. So you're inside where it's warm today because it's what, about 30 there today?
I think it's 40 something right now.
Is it? Okay. Perfect. So, well, thanks for taking some time out of your schedule to come on and chat. This will be an interesting conversation for both of us, I think, because most of the guests I have on, I know or know of or a little bit about. You, I kind of know 43 years worth of stuff about. So this will be interesting and fun. So the first thing, I think when the first thing you came on, I called you Bear. And just to get people to get to know who Eric is for a minute, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little more about you. But you've had the nickname of Bear, or the Bear, for about 43 years. Do you have any idea where that come from? Do you remember?
Nope, not at all.
You don't remember when you were 5 days old?
No, I remember 6 days on, 5 days not so much.
I think this was 5 days. There was a TV show, a comedy, and it was called TJ and the Bear. There it is, right there. There's a great old comedy, and there was a song, and it was the theme song was "My name is TJ McCabe and my best friend Bear," and it was just the bear was just this little monkey. And he nicknamed me Bear, and who knows where this came from, but you got coined Bear like within, oh gosh, I don't know, probably 5 days after he was home. So
I always thought it was because I was grumpy when I'm hungry.
Well, that's very true too. You were and still are. That's one thing that has not changed in 43 years. I think you're just grumpier.
Yeah.
Grumpier. Hey, Barry jumped on. I'll grab a couple before we get started. He says, usually got the props for Randy Chaffee, but this is props to your son, Eric. Thanks for your service. Randy knows my thoughts on servicemen and women. Cheers.
Thanks, Barry. You're welcome.
Thanks, Barry. You're a good man. And Kirsten Brunner is a good friend of mine from way back. Let's say hi. I remember that show. There you go. Kirsten's funny. We go way back. She works for LBM, which is a buying group that I do a lot of business with through the agency here. And Kirsten and I go back. She's from Carson City, Crystal, where I went to high school. And I know you went to your elementary days, or I guess kindergarten, actually only. Do you remember your kindergarten teacher?
Yeah, my girlfriend, Miss Flowers, of course.
There it is, Miss Flowers. That's it.
She was my only friend. She was my only
I know. You had us all concerned when you came home your first day and said, "Nobody likes me. I have no friends. We go up there to see what's going on. She says, what's he talking about? Everybody likes him. But all you cared about was Miss Flowers, I know. But anyway, Kirsten and I go way, way, way back I'm a couple, 3, 4, 6 years older than her. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe she was a bartender in a local watering hole that I might have frequented in my early years. But thanks for being on, Kirsten. Pardon?
In Hubbardston?
No, actually, but now that you mentioned it, it was Middleton. If anybody, and what's in Middleton that you know?
Oh, the diner or the bakery there.
Man, the bakery. I know we're getting off subject already, but the bakery in Middleton, right on the corner of 57 and whatever little street went into this tiny town of like 15, 20 people. I don't know, it was a small town. Best, there were sour cream cookies, weren't they?
Yeah, I got like 6 dozen in the fridge, even though I don't eat them because I'm not doing carbs right now, but they're in there.
Oh, man. Cook's Duck Inn. There it is. Kristen says Cook's Duck Inn. That was right on the railroad tracks, right in downtown Middleton. Good stuff. But so anyway, so now we know why you're called the Bear, and I wanted to get that out because as a nickname guy, I'll probably refer to you between Eric and the Bear or Bear all the way through this because that's what I do. As you know, with kids or grandkids and now great grandson, I barely call anybody by their name. It's I got 1,000 nicknames it seems. But speaking of that, before we really get going, Grandpa Eric. Is that odd or what?
No. It's
cool. You used to it now?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is awesome.
I get told I look 23 all the time when I'm 43, so it works good for me.
Well, I ask people how when I tell people I have a great grandson, they don't act surprised, and I go, "Whoa, dude, come on, you can act a little surprised," but they don't. Anyway, so I still remember the last time we was all together. And somebody referred to you as Grandpa, and I heard the word, and I'm instantly going, what? And then I go, oh, that's weird. Okay, that's my son. That's strange stuff, but good stuff. So anyway, so let's roll. Let's start out with maybe just a minute or two, because I know I talk way more than you. It's been that way their whole lives, right? Who is Eric?
I'm a good listener.
Oh, that's right. And I'm a good talker, so we're good. We get along fine. I talk, you listen. Who is Eric?
Well, I'm just a normal guy, really. I just like to try new stuff and do things. I'm a Marine combat vet. I've done a little bit of everything. Kind of pride myself on being a jack of all, master of none. I know a lot of people don't like that saying, but it's better to be a jack of all than a master of one, I always think. So I put that all in. So you know how I am. If I want to do something, there's nothing to stop me from doing it. So
yeah. Well, and that's a big part of why I wanted you on today, because we're going to talk about that. We're going to roll into that right now pretty quick, but you always put your head into things, and I think that's pretty amazing. So you didn't bring it up.
I think I've been that way since I've been little, really. Like if I decide I want to do a project, I'm going to do it.
Or go out on your bike when I said no. And there you were out on your bike, whatever it was.
I did a lot of things you told me not to do. I might be a bit of a rebel in that too. So.
Yeah, I would say rebel is that's fair. That's fair. So let's just move ahead, Grant, to a new word we'll call you is Papa Bear, huh? That works. Your grandpa and your bear, Papa Bear. So let's move ahead. Let's just forget high school because I don't know. I didn't like high school. I don't talk about high school that much. So let's move ahead. Shortly after high school, you became a corrections officer, right? At an early age. I mean, you were young. What was you, 19?
I was one. Yeah, well, almost 19. I was actually the youngest correction officer in Michigan history at that point in time. But,
wow.
I mean, it helped having mom in the positions she was in too. So everybody knew her.
Right. Yeah, because your mom was pretty big up in the world of corrections in the state of Michigan, so certainly didn't help, but still. So you got involved in that, and then what led you to your military service? I mean, how did?
Well, I always wanted to go join. I wanted to go be a Navy SEAL, remember? And then I didn't like that recruiter, so I said never mind, and I went to college instead. And when I was working at the sheriff's department, Sergeant Lyman that I've talked about before, he was in charge of me, and he was a Marine, and I was just sitting and working the night shift, and I just knew I didn't want to do 40 years of doing that. It's not like it's a bad job. It's just at 18 years old, you can see I didn't want to do that for, 40, 50 years. And Sergeant Lyman was a Marine, and he'd always talk to me about it. And that's kind of what I did. And went and signed up. And 2 weeks later, I left, sold everything of your guys, and took off.
And I still, but as a matter of fact,
you want your leather
still,
jacket back. I
you still owe me for a leather jacket that I just bought. Wes, 18 years old, I bought this brand new leather jacket, wore it one time. After he leaves, I can't find my jacket because he was having a sale, getting rid of all of his stuff to have some money. I can't find my jacket. When he gets back home on leave after 13, 14 weeks at boot camp, I go, by the way, do you see my jacket?
15
He
weeks.
goes, huh?
15 weeks.
15 was okay. And I find out that he sold my jacket, my brand new jacket. So you still owe me.
Yeah, well, you guys up and relocated to a whole new city downstate while I was in boot camp. So.
And you're just lucky that we bothered to tell you where we went.
I didn't even know until I see new addresses on the letters.
The thought crossed our mind is don't answer the phone, don't accept mail. But no, that is a fact. I forgot that we did that. That's funny. Yeah. So that was the trigger point for wanting to be a Marine, was talking to Sergeant Lehman?
Well, I mean, it helped. I always wanted to do something. I just knew I didn't want to go to the Navy anymore. That guy, left a bad taste in my mouth with stuff. And then I talked to Sergeant Langmaster, which you probably remember him, and sold me on it. I mean, I got respect for all vets, but I wanted to go be the best of the best. At first, I thought it was the Navy SEALs, and they're still probably the best of the best, but the Marines are damn close. Oh, sorry, I mean to swear, but right behind in the rear view there.
Yeah, there you go. You're good. So, yeah, I remember Sergeant Langmaster because I remember the day that he showed up at the house to pick you up, and you got in the back seat of the car and just stood out in the driveway as you drove away, waving out the rearview mirror. It's like, wow, that was the first time it was real for me, right? And I know for your mom too. It was like, that was one of those moments where you look at each other and you just walk in the house. There's not much to say, right? I mean, not that you are a little boy at that time because you was 19, right? I think.
Yeah. No, I was 20 when I went to boot. I turned 21 in boot camp.
That's right. But still, you're our kid, right? And man, he just took off to be a Marine. This is big stuff. And so you went to the Marines. You went to boot camp. I suppose you already were a pretty motivated guy, the kid at that point. I think you were disciplined also, but is that where your ability to become really disciplined really started to kick in, was in boot camp?
I think it helped. I mean, I think the person that helped me the most, you helped me with discipline too when I was a kid, but only when you drove the car through the back of the garage and knocked it off its foundation. Or lit the driveway on fire to play basketball.
Or lit the driveway on fire because you wanted to play basketball and it was icy.
Shot the neighbor's boat out.
Okay, that's
no, but I mean, it was really Master Gunny French. He showed me new ways to look at stuff. There's and anybody that was in the Marine Corps, any service, you always got times where you're in there and like you don't really want to be there anymore. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like you can't wait to get in, and when you're in there, you can't wait to get out. But when you're out, you wish you were back in. It's
gotcha.
Just the way it is. And the Master Gunny, and you've met Master Guns, or at least talked to him anyways. And then he taught me to look at things a lot differently, especially when you're gearing up to go to Iraq and all that stuff. So he had a big impact on that. So.
Yeah, he was a great guy. And Master Gunnery, I mean, that's the probably the most respected position in the Marine Corps, right? I mean, as far as
it's the highest enlisted rank, just like Sergeant Major. It's just different which path they take in the Marine Corps. You got Sergeant Major or Master Gunnery Sergeant. They're both E9s. It's as high as you can get enlisted, besides being the Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Gotcha. So everybody listens to that guy or girl. That man.
Yeah. I mean, the officers obviously still over them. Even a 01 officer is still higher than an E9, but they still have to, how the rank structure works like that. So.
But if they're smart, they still listen to him, especially in times of
they
battle,
definitely
right?
listen to him. He was in for a long time, and he's very smart and knew a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. Callahan, thanks for coming on, kid. Appreciate it. Um, so you went to boot camp. You really started learning discipline obviously from the drill instructors.
oh yeah,
They were
they don't give you much choice.
exactly. So there's a few people that might jump on. There's some buddies of Wes and I from our mastermind group. One of them, Brian, that's a former Marine, and then I've talked to you about just yesterday about Alan Baris, who's was an Army sniper. But the stories are true about
I've known that my whole life, Barry. It's all right.
What did he say? Oh, well, true enough, Barry. Hey, Barry might have to go away. Anyway, no, good stuff, buddy. Drill sergeants are every bit as motivating. Would that be the right word?
Yeah.
I mean, they take.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're. I mean, I don't care how. I was always a great athlete and always pretty strong, and I was, I was never scared to be in a fight. But those guys you're intimidated by them, but that's the whole point of it. That's how it's built. I mean, the whole Marine Corps is really built on intimidation of the next guy up. It's a weird dynamic to live in if you actually think about it. But
yeah, but you definitely so definitely learn some discipline there. But when you probably learned even more when you went to School of Infantry, right? Because you chose to be a grunt. What's the other word? A ground pounder? Is that a word that you guys use?
Grunt.
Or no?
It's a grunt. Yeah. No, I chose to be a grunt. Yeah, even to the dismay of the recruiters, because I scored off the charts on my ASVAB. I could have went and did any job that I wanted to do, but he's like, you might not be as smart as we thought you were, but but I love being in the infantry. It was one of my favorite things I've ever done in my life. So
yeah. So what did you? Let's go, and then I want to jump even a little further ahead. But what's one of the biggest things probably during that first year or so before 9/11 happened, and we'll chat about that and onward in a minute. But give me the big take at that point in your life. I'm a Marine, done the Crucible, which is if people know what that is, that's like the biggest deal, right? But once you did all that, tell me what that felt like and what it was like to finally go, you know what? I'm a United States Marine. I mean, that had to be like one of the biggest moments ever, right?
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, I still have that feeling. Why do you think I wear this stuff and this stuff? I mean, if someone's a Marine, don't worry, they're going to tell you about it. They're almost like, being like one of the like vegans or carnivore or something. We're going to tell you we're a Marine, and we got no problem sharing that information with you.
Yep. Well, because it's a big pride thing, and it should be. You work hard for that.
Yeah.
That title don't come easy.
No.
And I can tell you, I remember still. Well, two things. I remember when we come to boot camp. I came out the day early for your graduation, and you probably remember this. And you'll tell me what it was called. The night earlier.
It's called family night.
Family night. And I got out early before everybody else. And you did a night march over to on a parade ground or something.
Yeah.
And I remember it was so cool because you could hear, weren't you guys all kind of singing in unison the Marine Corps hymn, right? Is that correct, or did I miss that?
No, it was just they call them sing songs. You just do them when you're like marching.
Okay. But anyway, I stood in front of I think there was a flag or something with your platoon.
2107.
Yep, there you go. And I got on the front row because it's what I do. And I didn't mean to push the old lady out of the way, but she's only grandma. I'm dad. So anyway, I remember you guys come walking up in the dark, and all of a sudden, there you guys disappeared in this long line. And I still remember I'm looking up and down this row of, I don't know how many there were, 20, 25 of you in a row, maybe, I don't remember. And
Somewhere close to that. Yeah.
yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. And I remember trying to find you, right? And I was
I
looking
gave
up
you
and
my
down,
wink.
and yeah, but exactly, because Wes, this was funny. They all looked alike. I mean, you all ripped and trim and fit, and you all got the same haircut, which is none, and you all got the same cap, the same everything. And I'm going, that's it. Nope, that's not. Nope, that's not. And then all of a sudden, I saw that tiny little wink. Straight ahead, stiff, being a Marine. But I got that, and I still remember that was a great. That was probably one of the better moments, man. That was good stuff. But so you came home, you went back. Um, had a daughter, Cora, who was, I think, like, what, 3 or 4 at the time. And something really, really bad happened on 9/11, right? And changed the course of the world.
Cora, I didn't know Cora and Sabrina before 9/11. I knew Sabrina because she worked at the store.
Was it after that? Okay. But
I didn't even know we were out in the field training in 29 Palms, and I didn't even know 9/11 happened for almost a week.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they didn't tell us anything. They came and got. I remember they got Cassidy and a couple other guys that were from New York that had family that like worked in the Trade Center towers, but we didn't know why they got them, because people get pulled out of the field all the time. And then when we got back from training, they told us all that, and we all thought we were going to Afghanistan and all stuff at that point, but our unit never got called for that. So to go to Afghanistan, I mean.
Right. So you had a pretty good idea as soon as you heard about it that we're probably going somewhere.
Oh, sooner or later, yeah. I mean, everything we trained for switched to all that. I mean, we started doing a lot of urban combat training and stuff, in mountain towns. And it's like a fake city is what a mountain town is. You just practice, Stuff.
Right. Yep. So, and then, anyways, fast forwarding again, I remember you called and wanted Sabrina and Cora to come stay with us because you knew you were going to be gone.
I mean, you know the unit that I got transferred to. I had a top secret clearance, so I knew some stuff other people didn't know, and I guess it's probably past the time of limitations where I can get in trouble. I kind of told you where I was going before I told them. You're the only person that knew I wasn't actually going to Okinawa, that I was going over to Kuwait, but. That's why I wanted them to live back here with you guys. And Sabrina never really understood why until then. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, exactly. Because you knew, and I remember that after I think we all got over the shock that day of what happened, which is like.
I told you when I left to go back, but I didn't tell anybody else. Remember, until I got over there and called. It was a couple weeks later, and when we were getting ready to leave.
Right.
I actually told everybody where I was going because everyone thought I was going to Oki again. So.
Yeah. So I got to believe that the Marine Corps way of training, there's way more dedication, or not dedication, but discipline involved in getting to Kuwait, getting prepared, and actually going in country, if you will, into Iraq. In a war situation, that all comes back to discipline, right? To practice, do. Talk about that a little
bit. We practice stuff to nauseam. I mean, it has to become second nature, which is discipline in some regard. I mean, there's different forms of discipline and things, but like it's muscle memory. So, and is it fun to do every day? No, I mean it's not fun to do every day. It's the same thing over and over and over again, but in that point, it's kind of forced discipline because you have to know this stuff. But I always play games with myself, like how I've done. I make myself want to do something. It's just a form of discipline, but you have to make that more fun to happen that way. Not that war is fun, but like the training involved in it. You have to have the discipline to want to do it, and it's not fun to do every single day by any stretch of it, but you still have to. And then not everybody in the Marine Corps is like that either. I mean, it's instilled in us, but it doesn't mean they have the next level of it. not saying I'm better than anybody else's, but like I'm pretty disciplined dude, and when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and in those kind of situations where you're not talking about a football game or a sales call or something. I mean, this is
No,
life
I
and
mean, but
death
you could
stuff.
compare it to it because it's obviously those are two opposite spectrums of what's going to happen. I mean, but I mean, I'm sure in your sales calls, maybe there's sometimes you're like, oh, I don't really want to have to make this Zoom meeting or whatever today, but you still do it because you got to make your sales, right? You got to go in there and talk to the people, and that's how you do what you do. And it's, I get bids for jobs, with my company. I don't always want to go out and do this, but that's how I get paid to do the stuff. I do the jobs every other handyman around here doesn't want to do all the time.
Right.
So that's why they call me, because I'll do them.
Yep. So, would you think that habits are important, right? We all have habits. We have good habits. We have bad habits. And so you can the really negative thing is you can develop bad habits. And that's where a lot of people think about is, I got a bad habit. I developed this bad habit.
It's because they're easy.
I do this. Pardon?
It's because it's easy.
Yeah.
The bad
Well,
habits.
It's harder to have good habits.
Yeah, it's very hard to have good habits. Those are the ones because they're not always fun. Bad habits are fun sometimes. Going out, getting drunk with your buddies. I mean, not that it's a wrong thing to do, but you do it every day. That's a bad habit. You gotta instill the good habits, and you're the only one that's going to make that happen. That your friend next to you is not going to make it happen. They might help you, but you still have to make it happen. It's self accountability. It's always going to be you versus you. My old thing I used to do when I was training people. It's always you versus you. It doesn't matter what the next guy is doing. You have to have the discipline to go do it. That's just the bottom line. There's no way around it. That's how it is.
So, and that makes me think about, I think I did a little video one day on this, but it's and as you know, I walk a lot. That's what I do. I don't run, but I walk a lot. And many times, the fork in the road, right? I want to get 8 miles in today. Well, I've already got 7.5. If I just turn and head towards home here, I'll get my 8.5, whatever. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can get this other loop and I'll get 9.5, right? Yeah. The difference is nobody would know but me,
right,
if I didn't take the right instead of the left, because I'm the only one that loses if I don't get that extra mile, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that breaks down to the definition of a character, which you do when no one else is watching. You know what I mean? No one's ever going to know you did that but you. But you'll look in the mirror and know, oh man, I could have did that, but I didn't. It's
right.
That's just, to me, that's
so that makes me think of a statement. I don't know if I'll get it right, but now sometimes people do bad things, but generally, if you're a good person, you're going to be more disappointed with the things you didn't do than the things you did do, right? As you get older, you start going, man, I wish I'd have done that. And
go do
more
it.
so than you're going, I wish I wouldn't have ate that extra donut. You're going to say, I wish I'd have went and worked out. I wish I'd have done whatever, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's still time to start doing the things that you wish you would have did. I mean, the only time you're going to stop is when you're dead and you're 6 feet under. Yeah, you can still do it, So it's.
There's a lot of it.
I don't live in the regret. I don't live in the regret thing. If there's something I wanted to do that I haven't done yet, when I decide I want to do it, I'm going to go do it.
There you go. Well, that is an amazing segue into where I wanted to go next, which is you're back from the Corps back from Iraq for a while. And by the way, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
You guys never hear that enough. And yesterday actually was Veterans Day, and then the day before was the Marine Corps birthday. And who else's birthday was on Marine Corps birthday? You. So I guess we could technically say you were born to be a Marine, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, you got back from Iraq, and at some point in time, you started working out again. You started lifting. How did you go from there to this massive powerlifting success that you had? And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but tell me about that.
Well, when I first got out, I battled PTSD like everybody else has, and yeah, when I joined the motorcycle club and all that stuff, and I wasn't living my best life. I mean, I met some good people in the club. They're all former Marines and stuff, but like it, it was fun, but that wasn't me. I didn't want to do it anymore. That's why I got out, and I let myself go from the shape I was in when I was in the Marine Corps because I drove around and partied and drank a lot, trying to think that was the answer to, riding fast Harleys and stuff to keep that adrenaline from, combat. It was the wrong way to do it. It was how I did it. Not saying it's the right way, but I got myself out of it. I don't ask for help from people, and I did it myself. I'm not saying it's the right way to do it, but when I got into lifting again, that's what really switched everything for me. It felt right. That was the good path to go down, not the destructive path. The good path to go down was, and that was my good. For other people, it's other things, but that was just mine. And I knew I could be disciplined at it, almost crazy disciplined at it to get what I want to get. But yeah, that's how I made the switch. I mean, it took a lot of work to get to the size I was in that picture Wes just shown there. I mean, when I started that, I should have sent you the picture when I had was in the club, and I was about the same weight as I was right there. I was 250 but fat, and I was 250 and solid muscle right there. That was 672 on that bar, I think, for that pull.
Yep.
And the most I ever pulled was 725, but I don't have any of the at the meet there. But.
Yep. So that was actually that was the championship lift or the title lift right there, right?
Yeah, that was the one that broke my own national record from before. Yeah.
Right. So
and had COVID not happened, I would have got the world record if the meets would have kept staying. But
so well, no doubt you would, because again,
I pulled it in my garage. So.
Yeah. So maybe you should go do it again one of these days just for fun.
I'm at 190 pounds right now. I can't do that. I'm not into doing powerlifting stuff. I had to let myself heal up for a while.
Right. Because that took a big toll on the body, didn't
it? Yeah. Plus, I started later in life, so doing it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because you are a grandpa. So
yeah. Right.
So anyway, but now I think in my opinion, only just as not really a pretty close invested observer because you're my son, you probably the biggest change that took, in my opinion, and you tell me if I'm wrong, probably as much discipline as anything you've ever done, maybe, is so you was 250-ish, banging out a lot of calories, banging big weight.
I was probably eating 9,000 calories a day when I was that size, and training twice a day for that.
Yeah. So. I'd done those once or twice in my life with Coastal Tohos back in my
days. I remember you hit them underneath your car seat. I know.
I know, but I always left one in the box just to make it look like I had discipline.
Right.
But so, what caused you to then go and tell me? I get it, but it's keto athletic physique championships or performance. Tell me tell me the right name and tell me what that's all about.
It was NACA Keto Athletic Association. It was from Dallas, Texas. Yeah, the guy got a hold of me and wanted to know if originally there was supposed to be a strength competition at it too. That's why I originally signed up for it. And not to sound braggadocious, but when he announced that I was coming to it, all the other competitors backed out. They didn't want to compete against me, so I had no one to compete against. So it just turned into a bodybuilding show. So that's when I switched gears out of doing the strength one and just getting shredded to do the physique competition there.
So this was,
but keto. It was switching up everything. It was eliminating all the carbs. I was eating, 15, 16. I was still training all the time, so I always kept my stuff a little higher than everybody else did.
Bud right there is on stage, right?
Yeah, that was at the show right there. Yep. Yeah.
And continue, but big difference between the picture from before, because look at the difference, and that's in what length of time, Bear?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half. Wow.
Yeah, October. Actually, it's a year because that was in October, the meet was, and then the NACA meet was in the next October. So yeah, it was a year actually.
So you went from big, bulky, muscular, strong, but big, bulky, 250-ish to thin, slim, trim, ripped 180
Yep.
in a year's time.
Yep.
Wow. Yep. And so that took go ahead.
It's all discipline. Yeah. I mean, I had to eat right. I laid everything out. You couldn't mess up. And if you did, you had to get right back on track. I was in the gym 2-3 times a day, especially when I was doing the bodybuilding stuff. Powerlifting, not so much because the weights were too heavy to do that constantly, but it's, right. And I did not want to go every day. I mean, even towards the end, I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore, but I knew it was something I wanted to do. So I kept doing it, and
so you kept the eye on the ring, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's like athletes and other like team events, I suppose, where I don't care what it is, you got a 12, 13 game season in football. You probably, it's hard to get up every single day to do all the stuff you need to do, right? But
yeah,
the goal is you still want that ring at the end of the season, right?
Right. I mean, everyone, when I used to train people and stuff, they're motivated to do it right away. And, in their first week, you can make them lose a couple pounds, but it's mostly just water weight. And then they'll pan out. And that's when their motivation just drops. And if they don't have the discipline to bring it up, like I told them, you're never going to get to it if you're not going to hit the gym and eat. The biggest thing is eating in that. I won't go into the whole, how to actually do that. But you have to be disciplined in the whole thing if you actually want the result to happen. It's not just going to happen like that. It's discipline in every day of what you're doing and doing that stuff. But that can be translated into real life too. Just getting up in the morning for some people.
That's the first discipline they have to work on, right? So, and that's a good thing because Wes and I have talked about this before you came on for pre-show. But in the world of business, which is kind of our thing, and sales and those kind of things, we have to be disciplined in a different way. But like you said earlier, I set and go, not so much now because I've changed the way I do things a little bit, but when you're going 10, 11, 12 weeks in a row, out Sunday night, back Friday night, repack, doing it again.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff you love, like seeing customers and glad handing and bro hugging and buying coffee and donuts and all that. But there's sometimes you go, I don't know if anybody ever noticed if I just didn't travel this week. I just think I want, but I know, right? And so you have to have that discipline, right? To just get up and say, you know what? I'm throwing my crap in the suitcase. I'm getting my flight, and I'm just going. And so it parlays, whether it's athletics or military or just an everyday life, right?
For anything you do. I mean, if you look in the mirror and look back at yourself, and you know if you didn't do it. You know what I mean? No one else might know, like you said, but you know you didn't get.
And that's the most important person, right?
It's the only thing that's. Well, I mean, yes, to yourself, it's the only thing that matters, right? Yes, but that's the most important thing is
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're only disappointing yourself. You're only letting yourself down more than anybody else. I mean, you might let your teammates down. You might let in my case, a company down if I don't do what I'm supposed to. But at the end of the day, I know that.
Still, but even saying that, it's still you that let yourself down first to let them down.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful. So, that's it. I like that. #, Barry jumped on. Barry, he says, we have a chance yet, Randy. So we still might get there, but probably not quite at the same level. So what's the next step now for Eric? I mean, besides continue to be a dad, husband, grandfather, and son, what's next in the world? What's the next dedication? What's the next thing you're going to dedicate to even more than everything else?
I'm just trying to build my little business right now, so I don't have to work for anybody else anymore. I like working for myself, so that takes a lot of my time. I still work out, not like I did. It's more just body weight stuff and staying active. It's basically just the Marine Corps Daily 7 for any Marines that don't know what that is. That's just what I do every day. It's just 7 basic exercises and run or walk or something. So
Gotcha. So you're funneling.
But I might get back into it again someday. I don't know. My shoulders are kind of beat up and sore from all that stuff, but we'll see. I don't want to be 60 and not be able to move because I wanted to break a world record anymore. I've already got those. So
Yep. Well, hey, that's called balance, maturity, and it's okay to. I think it's always okay to switch gears as long as you find something you want and you love, and you dedicate yourself to whatever that new is. And building your business right now is where it's at right now. That and family and love it.
Yeah,
love it. So I guess as we kind of wrap up here, because I've taken probably close to enough of your time, you probably got something to go do and make money. But even though you did have a big old steak last night, so let me back there. You got a big old steak at Applebee's last night because for Veterans Day, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was nice of them. Yeah.
That is nice of them. I love to see companies that do more of that. I think I sent you a shot yesterday of the Outback.
There's actually a lot. There's actually quite a few of them that do that now. So.
Yeah, it's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. So, well, dude, I've got nothing else. I mean, you've hit it out of the park with some really, really good stuff, and I think I really wanted people to hear from somebody that's done some of the things that you've done. I tried to keep it as reasonably low key because I know most people that's done things you do it for the right reasons and not for the notoriety and not for the lot of glad handing and hoopla and all that. But so I just wanted to keep it a little low key, but I want people to understand that dedication, discipline, I should say, always wins out over motivation, right? Because
all the time. I mean, it's good to have motivation if you can get it and keep it, but it's gonna go and.
That's in and out. The discipline will always be there if you just by definition.
That's the one constant. It's
right.
You got the choice to get up and do it or get up and not do it, and that's the discipline right there in the middle.
Exactly.
That's your fork in the road you were talking about.
Right.
It's not the Yogi Berraism. When they come to the fork in the road, take it. Well, there's 2 different paths when it comes to discipline. There's either not doing or doing it. So
right, and one will bring you good things or at least a shot at good things.
Right. Yeah.
The other way,
you got to work at it. You got to work at it.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like it's almost like exactly. It's almost like the I think it was the old Wayne Gretzky. You miss every shot you don't take. Right. It's along that same lines as being highly disciplined. You still might not achieve that ring, that trophy, that whatever.
There's always going to be someone smarter, stronger, tougher. There's always going to be that guy or girl out there. It's always going to happen, but it's
right.
You just got to keep, and it's like it goes back to what I said. It's you versus you. It's you. I only worry about myself in that. Even when I competed, I never worried about what the other people were doing. Everyone always wanted to worry about what I was doing. I didn't care. It was me versus the bar. If I didn't lift weight, it didn't matter.
Right.
It's because they can lift all they want, but if I'm not pulling that up, then I'm the one that failed at it, not them. They didn't beat me. I beat myself. So it's
me against
that's
the
just
bar.
for like weightlifting. But yeah.
I like that. I like that term, me against the bar. I'm going to use that one. Me against the bar. I like that. So, all right, buddy. I could sit and chat with you forever, but we'll probably do some FaceTime and chat over the weekend.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe not live on air though, but unless you want to.
That's all right.
You can always come back and chat anytime you want.
Yeah. Good.
Maybe if you decide at 64, well, I'll be a little old, but at 64, you decide to become like some kind of grandmaster, super duper power weight lifting champion thing. And I'll come with my walker and cheer you on, and
there you go.
And we'll get you back online with Wes and I. How's that?
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right, buddy. The Bear. Hope you enjoyed that, folks. Me and Wes will catch you in a minute in the back room, if that's okay. There you got the Bear. Love the kid. He's a kid. He's 43, but he's still a kid. Anyway, hope you got some good stuff out of that. Discipline. Me and the bar. I think that was probably one of the most important things. I'm going to write that down. Me and the bar. Write that down. Me and the bar. Think about it. It doesn't matter if you don't lift the bar. And I think that was probably one of the biggest outcomes of this. So, anyways, thanks to Eric for being on. And next week, what's going on next week? One slight change up. We're going to go on a Thursday, next week only at this point, but next week, Thursday, still 3 p.m. Eastern, mainly because of a scheduling conflict. We're going to have a good friend of mine, long time friend, Walter Green. Walter Green is general manager, I believe is his title. He might be even a bigger shot than that now, but with Country Metals, which is a long time customer of mine, probably 25 years probably. And Walter and I go way back in some other businesses he was involved with. He's been a friend, a pal, had dinner at his house. I think I might have went fishing with him and his son in a little rowboat one day. He was using that as a way to negotiate better pricing, I think, because I do know I had an anchor around me somehow, and he was asking for numbers. So anyway, I gave him the numbers, just telling you. But anyways, just kidding. Next week, Walter's going to be on. We're going to talk about his family, because he's got an interesting story about overcoming some pretty tough personal issues in his family. And I say enjoys talking about it, but he enjoys talking about it because the outcome was good. And it gives you a real idea that people face some really tough things and they still come back from it. He's been a great businessman. He does some sales training and some motivational stuff on his own. And you're going to love Walter. He's a great friend of mine for years. And you're going to love it. So come back next week for that on Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern, Facebook, YouTube. Don't miss it. Until then, remember, we get one shot, folks. So live it, love it, own it, and make today your best day ever. Till tomorrow. Right there. Read it, copy it, and do it. Let's go. Thanks, y'all.